Affirmative.
So I will check.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And it was Aaron, correct?
Garrett.
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 Yeah.
I'm hard to hear. Garrett, sorry about that.
No, you're okay.
Welcome. Are you set up and ready to go?
I believe so.
Hopefully our meeting today will be relatively fast.
Okay.
All right.
You might crank it up a little bit, get over the chairs.
Yeah.
All right, so our first item is public comment. Public here at this time, so we'll move right along.
Garrett, give us a public comment of where you come from, a little history of you.
So I come from Cleveland, Ohio. In terms of history, I graduated from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. Came out here, this will be my third week here, second week actually working. Today will be the second week, so it'll be 2 weeks since I've been here. So
Welcome.
thanks.
Yes, welcome, thank you. All right, so moving on, we have the first item is the Lake County Tourism Studio donation, possibility action consideration. Yesterday we had Jody Graham and Patsy Hall before us. Had some discussion about upcoming events in Lake County. So entertain any kind of a motion or discussion.
Yeah, I'll let the commissioner that's been working on this.
It's just been on site, I don't have all the details. But basically, Chamber of Commerce working with the Oregon Travel, promoting tourism. And there's 3 committees. One is Western Heritage to try to enhance the characteristic of our community, of our roots, our heritage. And another is Geology Committee, Subcommittee. And another one I don't recall, bikes or trails. But the 2 ladies that was here, Patsy and Jody, they are on the Western Heritage. They promoted the rodeo and fairgrounds endeavor. They happen to be kind of pro rodeo because Jody's on that rodeo committee. But they like to spruce up the community during that fair and roundup by having banners that say, you know, welcome to Lake County, kick off your boots, don't recall all these things. But as you drive down the street, you see some banners that said Lakeview established such and such. But during fair and roundup, they like to interchange those with the Western Heritage banner, photograph banners on the light posts. And also have, in the olden days, there used to be a big banner that went across the main highway over here at the Heritage Building. And it was, I remember saying something before I was here, gateway to Hart Mountain or whatever. But they like to have it saying, celebrating the roundup and the fairgrounds of for each year, even though the real emphasis is next year because that'll be 100 years anniversary for the rodeo. But it'll be ongoing for year after year. The banners and things will be utilized, what I'm saying, year after year during the roundup fairgrounds. So it's a promotional thing, and they have requested donations from different entities, the town, different clubs, and they asked the county if we can make a donation to help purchase the banners and the flags and so forth. And I think their request was if the county has discretionary funds, maybe up to $1,000 or so to help them. They need about 7,000. They have 5 at this time, so they're trying to fill a gap. That's the subject. So it's really up to us today to determine whether we wish to make a donation, and if so, how much.
Yeah. So
Did you get clarity, Commissioner Winters, on the fact that the Fair Board is represented on this group?
what? Well, all I have is what we talked about yesterday, Commissioner. I did not make any phone calls yesterday.
Okay.
It was highly recommended that they entertain consideration of, inclusive of the fair.
Yeah.
But if we give a donation, that, I think that'll be.
Yeah, just a stipulation. Yeah, the banners, things have not been ordered yet, so.
Yeah, it'd be up to them. Did point out that part of their committee, one of their committee people is also on the fair board, Tilly Flynn, so I'm sure Tilly will work closely with him.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was understood, that you as a fair board, you have a member on that committee.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
Yep.
So, is anybody prepared to do a motion with money attached?
Do we have, well, first we have to identify if there's, what funds would be available.
Well, there's, I guess, where I usually go is economic development, the video lottery dollars, is where we have, that's our only sort of discretionary pot that the Board of Commissioners has to go to, as far as, at this point.
Yeah,
of the
but the
budget.
question is there funds there available?
Yes.
Okay.
There are.
Well, like of any other, I'll make a motion that we grant their request. It was $1,000 or however much more or less we wish. I'll make a motion for 1,000.
Okay, I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to grant / donate $1,000 to the tourism studio operation. I believe that's correct, isn't that what the verbiage is there?
Yes.
The $1,000, and that would come out of the video lottery fund. Any further discussion?
I would just, the tourism studio donation, I would just put the caveat, the Western Heritage Committee for banners.
Yeah, I believe, and I'd have to look back at that, isn't all the money going to go through the chamber?
Yeah,
As a nonprofit, are they the fiscal agent for this, I believe?
I believe so.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, Connect Oregon 6 agreement. So we had a presentation yesterday. We've already agreed to this as the Board of Commissioners as we pursued having this Connect Oregon 6 grant be moved over to the county process and be the receiving agency of the Connect Oregon. It's $325,000 with a 30% match. The 30% match is on top of the $325,000. It's a reimbursement grant. Our operator has agreed to cover the 30% match through equipment, personnel use, and other actual aggregate and other things to cover the cost of the 30%. So what we need today is to approve that agreement. So with that, I'll make a motion to sign the Connect Oregon 6 agreement as reviewed by legal counsel.
Second.
No.
Double seconded.
Double second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Title VI, Civil Rights. We have that on here. This is special transportation. This is a thing that we have to do, I believe, every biennium, or maybe it's annual, but I'll let Melanie tell us.
Yeah, it's every biennium. We need to renew it and update it.
And for the audience on the camera, this is for the Oregon Department of Transportation Special Transportation Funds
Yes.
that we get, and then we part it out to Senior Center and other organizations that provide public transit.
Mhm.
And we need to re-emphasize our Title VI civil rights.
Yeah, it's just a formality to ensure that Lake County will uphold ODOT standards of civil rights compliancy.
That's for us older citizens.
Well, it's actually eligible to anyone who needs a ride if they're accompanying someone with a disability or elderly. So you could have a caretaker that's my age or
I fit all
something.
those.
Yeah,
And you're my caretaker.
right, we could go, we could work on it together.
Yeah, working. So the action needed is,
A motion to approve the Title VI Civil Rights,
It's adopting the
adopting
policy.
it, yeah.
also move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the Title VI program policy as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I have, unless I've missed something, correct me if I'm wrong, I have meeting minutes for action consideration. Is that the last thing you guys see?
Yep. What are
Okay.
those dates?
Is. Go ahead.
July 17th.
Yeah,
Just curious.
I've reviewed them and they're acceptable to me, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of July 17, 2018.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I was out of town on that one, gotcha, right?
Aye.
Aye.
And
Abstain.
one abstain. Motion carries. With that, we have no executive session today that I'm aware of. Legal counsel is not here. Anything further to come before us?
You know, I didn't do any, none of us did any liaisons updates yesterday. If you don't mind, I'm gonna just power through a few things real quick.
Hit it, sir.
Okay, Lakeview Stewardship Group will be meeting sometime. Jim sent out a doodle poll, and I don't think the date's been actually set. And with that, I'll be probably attending the Stewardship Group board meeting next week. I've been asked to be on the board going forward. And I think in talking to Jim, it's probably going to be more appropriate that I wait until the end of my term, because they do bring things before the Board of Commissioners, and I haven't decided whether or not it's going to be the right thing to do or not. That workforce meeting that I'll be on, the panel, will be happening towards the end of September. The WIFLIC meeting mid-September in DC, and I've got appointments set up with our members of Congress to talk about the SRS proposal while I'm back there. And last Friday, I will just say I had a very informative and interesting day in Summer Lake and Christmas Valley. I think it was very beneficial, so.
Right, just real fast, yesterday we talked about and continued on the solar lease agreement. Dave has forwarded things to Obsidian and to legal counsel. Be sure as a board individually, any of our concerns, we need to sort of stay on top of that. It'll be at our next meeting. Our next meeting will be the 15th, the Tuesday. We will not have a quorum, so we're going to combine it all into one regular board meeting. I'll prepare it to know that we'll just be on Wednesday the 15th. The other thing that Nick from LCRI and Jim have been working on, the community solar. They come to us a while back and want to know if we consider using the lower part of the, what we call the man camps and properties that's not inclusive in the man camp area. We said, do your evaluations and let us know. They've done their evaluation. That's a site that they believe would fit best. Nick has brought a very draft, very generic lease option agreement that we all need to review. It's pretty rough. Dave has it. I asked him to get each one of you. It'd be similar to like what we done out at the airport It's a lease option, so they go ahead and get in the process of trying to find the funding, trying to work with the hospital, the schools for the community solar. But it's basically almost a no-cost lease option to secure that. Within that lease option, and I mentioned this today, I'll mention it now too, we need to make sure in that lease option, they're responsible for all, any SHPO, any cultural, any wetlands, and also any withholdings is their responsibility to clean. So just a little bit of an update there, so you guys can spend some time looking at that very generic draft that might need to be pulled together and looked from.
And he is proposing a community solar project,
Yeah.
which is different than all the other solars that we've had. Community solar is promote energy to some of the main businesses like schools, hospitals, etc. But also promote, there's a requirement to help promote energy to low-income residential housing. So it's a slight variation from a typical everyday solar project.
So that's pretty much roughly a couple things I want to make sure that the board individual has some time to look at those things. Anything else? There being nothing else, we will adjourn at 10:18. I don't think it's record, but it's getting close.
Well, Garrett, that's it.
All righty.